This is a WWN Publishing Group recording. Copyright 2017, all rights reserved. This is an abridged version of Night Takes Pawn, Book 1 of the Red Knight series by Martha Sweeney, to make the story appropriate for all listeners on YouTube. Read to you by the author. If you want to read the complete story, you can find the ebook or paperback online. Links are provided below in the description. Chapter 22, Night. "Where's Red?" I ask Arson when I return to the room. "She's recovering," Breaker states with a sneer, not giving Arson a chance to speak. "Excuse me?" I return flatly. "We broke her in for you while you were gone," Breaker continues, talking over Arson. "She was the star of the orgy. Lynn asked her for some help about 15 minutes ago," Arson shares once Breaker shuts up. "Ronan escorted them." I nod to Arson and Ronan after a brief stare-down with Breaker. Once I leave the VIP room, I search the floor for Red, but can't find her or Lynn. Panic starts to consume me, fearing that Red has done something stupid like run. When I check a few of the back hallways, I find Lynn at the top of the steps where I left Breaker and the rest of the gang. "Looking for Red?" Lynn asks when I get closer. "Yeah," I confirm. "She's in the sanctuary," Lynn informs. She continues to explain why Red is in there, which confirms my suspicions about Breaker being a dick. "You're not allowed in," Lynn reminds as she walks with me. "But you can knock on the door and one of the girls will get her for you." "Thanks," I reply. Lynn walks away, most likely heading back to Jagger, leaving me alone in the hallway. I lift my hand to knock, and just before I do, the door flies open. "Oh!" one of the girls gasps in shock. "I'm just looking for—" My voice trails when my view lands on Red. Her eyes are closed and her right leg is propped up on a chair. The dress she is wearing is hiked up to her hips as her left hand grips the hair on the head of one of the other girls, whose face is buried between Red's thighs. Red's chest lifts and falls rapidly, and her back arches more away from the wall she's leaning against. "She's almost done," the girl at the door mumbles. My eyes stay fixed on Red as blood rushes to my cock. "I can't let you in, but I can let you stand here and watch if you want. I don't think she'll mind," she informs. "Just keep the door closed more." "Huh?" I breathe out, barely looking at her. Another woman saunters up to Red and starts kissing her neck. Their eyes meet, and then the chick kisses Red, which Red encourages. I swallow hard when I see that they're using their tongues. Her head tilts to the left when the girl starts kissing down her neck towards her breasts. The strap to Red's dress falls down her shoulder far enough to expose one of her nipples. Red's eyes flutter open and suddenly catch me staring. Her gaze doesn't shift, not until her eyes start to roll and her orgasm arrives. "Never mind," giggles the girl standing in front of me. "She's done sooner than I thought. Just wait outside. She'll need a minute to freshen up." The next thing I know, the door is closed in my face. I take several long breaths in and let them out slowly as my body shakes. Holy dack, was that dacking hot. I never expected that. I guess I should have with all I've seen over the past few months working this closely with Jagger, but hot dacking damn, I didn't expect to see Red like that. I'm not sure why I wouldn't think she would find means to satisfy herself since we don't interact. I've heard Red take care of herself in the shower. I know she's not innocent, but I wasn't ready to see this, at least not anytime soon. If she needs relief, why hasn't she asked me? Do I still scare her? Maybe she's not into men. She's got to be with how her body reacts each time we touch. My palms continue to sweat, forcing me to wipe them off on my pants repeatedly. How the hell am I supposed to sleep next to her and not touch her after seeing what I just saw? I now know what it looks like for her to orgasm, that face. All I keep picturing is her beneath me as I dack the shit out of her, all while she moans like she just did, paired with calling out my name. "Here she is," a female voice states. I turn to face the door. "Hey, Red," I greet awkwardly. Her eyes fall to the floor quickly as she nods. Her cheeks are still a little flushed, and I can smell her. All of her. I clear my throat, hoping I can find my voice. "You ready?" I ask nervously. Red's gaze returns to mine and follows when I look at the chick at the door. "Night," the girl says, closing it quickly behind her. "Lynn said Breaker was messing with you," I say, not moving. Red nods without looking at me. She twists her fingers together in front of her. Why is she acting timid and shy? She just stared me down not long before she orgasmed. "I had to take care of something," I explain, wanting to break the uncomfortable silence between us. I didn't think I'd be gone that long. Red's head bobs a little as she hesitantly looks up at me. She tilts her head to the side as if she's noticing something. What? I ask. Red's head shakes. We walk awkwardly back to the main area, barely touching, and get ourselves seated off to the side. I don't have Red sit on my lap this time because I can barely control myself. Her sweet smell is torturing me, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to hold back. Tonight has been one giant clustered deck. My head is spinning as if I'm high on the shit Jagger is dealing, yet what has me really jacked is the smell of Red and the image of her orgasming. Time passes excruciatingly slow for the rest of the night. Regardless of the circumstance of the evening, I always find my thoughts drifting to the idea of Red tasting as good as she smells, and all of the things I want to do to her. When it comes time for many of us to leave, it's early in the morning. I check the sky and notice that the moons are either full or practically full, which explains the craziness of the day and evening. Since the moment Red left the women's sanctuary, she's been acting very distant. I know that it was weird at first, for both of us most likely, but she still avoids looking at me even in our room. A part of me wants to comfort her, let her know that I'm not upset about her having sex with one of the girls, but I'm not sure how to breach the subject. I'm hard just thinking about it. Hell, I've been hard since seeing her with the women. I need to know if she's comfortable with that happening between us. I want her. I need to feel inside her. I need to taste her. Hey, Red, I say, walking into the bathroom. Her head snaps in my direction, and she looks scared as she lowers her gaze. I move closer, but she backs away. What's wrong? I ask. She shakes her head as she continues to look timid. I'm not mad, I soothe. I can understand what happened in the sanctuary. It's not like I didn't know that occurs. It's the truth, I just never thought that she would do it too, I guess. She nods but won't say anything. Why won't you talk to me? I inquire. Her shoulders shrug. Did something happen when I wasn't with you? Red shakes her head. Did Breaker mess with you? She shakes her head again and looks over my right shoulder. I follow her gaze thinking someone is in the room. When I don't see anyone or anything out of the ordinary, I shift to turn back to her. Red's gaze stays lowered to the ground, even though I can't see her eyes. I can tell something is bothering her. What? I ask. Her eyes lift and meet mine. Red doesn't say anything. After a few more seconds of silence, she sidesteps away from me. I snatch Red's arm to get her to face me, but she shrugs me off. What's wrong? I ask, getting annoyed with the cold shoulder she's giving me. Red won't turn to look at me and remains quiet. What the dack is going on? I huff. I'm tired, she snaps. I'm getting the distinct notion that someone dacked with her while I was gone, dealing with some shit in the club. This ain't you, tired, I challenge. Did something happen and you're not telling me? No, she replies curtly. Bullshit, I say, calling her bluff. Red remains silent. Did Breaker say or— No, Red returns, cutting me off. Well, I know you're not on your moon cycle, I state. I'm dacking tired, she repeats. Did the dacker Jagger had you take care of do something? I ask, lowering my voice. No, she replies. I realize that it doesn't matter if something did or didn't happen. Red won't tell me. I'm going to have to see if I can get her talking while she's asleep. Fine, I return, stomping out of the room. When I get 5 steps out of the bathroom, I stop dead in my tracks at the sound of the bathroom door closing behind me. What the dack has gotten into Red? She's never been like this, let alone bothered to close the door. Not since when we first started being roommates. I turn, wanting to confront her, but think better of it. My hand takes the knob as I set my sights on calming her rather than riling her up more. I'm shocked when the knob doesn't turn. Even though Red knows I could pick the lock, I choose not to. I busy myself until she makes her way out of the bathroom sometime later. When she heads into the closet to get dressed, I make my way into the bathroom to wash off the filth of the club. I leave the door halfway open just in case she needs to come back in or changes her mind about talking. The heat from the shower is just what I need to calm from the craziness of tonight. Even Red's temper rouses me, so I grab hold of my half-mast soldier and stroke him until I blow my load while dreaming of Red's lips wrapped around him.
This is the end of this chapter. Thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying the story so far. To read the full, unabridged version, you can find a link in the description below. To find out about new releases before the general public, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter. Also, to be notified when the next chapter is published, make sure you subscribe to my channel.